I will fight you.
Welcome back, legends. The party making their way through the windy, gentle snow falling forests just outside of Herondine. Steering clear of the main road that leads into the town square of Herondine, Rowan leads the way on some. There's kind of an interconnection of smaller roads that lead to that branch off to the individual houses up in the woods. A lot of the properties somewhat secluded from each other, with the privacy of the woods that separates each of them. Rowan leads the way to his home in Herondine.
We're gonna steer clear on this road. Just follow me, and Rowan's going to lead them through not so close net trees, but just enough to give us cover. So just in case if people are traveling down that road, nobody will see us. We're gonna go to the back of the house, and Rowan's gonna lead the way with the horses.
Your horses make route up the trails. Just outside, the shed that you're used to seeing has had some additions. It's more of a stable now than what you're used to. It seems he's had some upgrades, that being your father. Most of everything else floods back in as a memory of what you see. The fine architecture of the log home-esque, comfortable aesthetic. And you said you're approaching from the back door?
We're rounding the house, so and imagine we're going around the right side where the barn would be. So we rounding that. Rowan's going to be looking at the 2-story cabin, seeing if there's any light upstairs, if his mom is working upstairs. And just slow walking and guiding everybody behind the house.
No sign of anybody outside the house. From outside, not much of any sign of anybody inside either, that you can tell. So you would get the impression that at this time of the day, maybe your dad is out working.
All right, we're gonna put the horses behind the house for now, and then once we speak to my family, we'll move the horses and everything inside the barn. But go ahead and dismount. Rowan's gonna get off Alder and take him to a tree. Wrap his reins around one of the branches.
Do you want maybe Asher to do like an illusion?
If you guys think it'll be best. I mean, it's my house. I don't think there'll be any issue. Nobody comes back here. And Rowan's going to put his show around the area. It's empty. And we have a ton of space between the next houses. I think we'll be okay. I don't think anybody knows we're coming.
And I do a check to see if there's any ravens.
Roll perception.
I don't see shit.
What did you roll?
A 3, but +6, so that was just like a 9.
even with that, nothing out of the ordinary, but there are different birds out and about, scattered, littered along the trees. They're quiet, nobody making any kind of noise as far as like a raven crow. There are crows, there are snow pigeons and ravens among them, but the ravens seem normal, if that makes sense. They just minding their own business, doing raven things.
Is it nighttime or daytime?
You guys are approaching dusk.
I'll go check the house. I'm gonna go towards the back door. Actually,
Yep, go ahead.
I think Rowan's gonna walk towards the front. He's gonna go up to the back door. No. He's gonna wave to the party, and he's gonna gesture as if he's moving to the front. He's gonna go to the front door.
You guys walk around from the rear of the house, and you see this large wraparound porch. Again, like, it's got this very cozy aesthetic, even on the outside. Like, you can imagine just how comfortable it would be on the inside. Like, that smell of the stained wood, even from the outside, paired with the fresh air of the forest, the cold, crisp, early evening air. And you see kind of, there's a nervousness, but a excitement and comfy feeling that seems to be over Rowan. Even just the sound of his boots clicking on the front porch, it's like all these floods of memories.
He's gonna wipe his hands on his chest plate. He's gonna knock on the door. He's just gonna take a couple steps back.
You hear from within a sound of what is probably most likely bare feet, just stepping across the hallway. And then the door begins to open, and what is at first a smile to greet whoever may be at the door is a wave of emotions as you see this elven woman. Stands about 5'7", with kind of blonde roots that fade into a dark shade of black. And this warm, comforting smile of Rowan's mother.
Hello, Mom.
She goes over and just wraps him up and just nuzzles her neck into, or nuzzles her chin into his neck. My boy. And you see she,
just gonna...
after he kind of picks her up and squeezes her, she lets out this little, and then he kind of puts her back down. He almost can't help himself, and then she detaches herself from him and puts her hand like on his jawline, and just with her thumb just flicks kind of the hair away from his ears and rubs the top of his ear. I've missed you.
I've missed you so much. It feels so nice to be home. And he's going to move aside and gesture to the party that is probably still on the grounds. Mom, this is your new family.
She looks at all of you, just this biggest grin and smile on her face, and looks intently at each of you with just the most comforting, welcoming smile, like she's known you for years, but can't wait to see you.
There's Asher, Karun, Briar, and then Aurelia, and Marty's. Oh, there's Marty is right there.
Hello.
You guys, come on in. Mom is.
Apologies, my name is Ella. It is nice to meet you. Oh, come in. I was just doing some cooking for the boys. Will be back any time now, and I always like to have something ready for them before they end for the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and Rowan's just gonna wait and usher everybody into the house first, and then follow.
As you guys enter, this smell of the most to die for cookies are being prepared, and she leads you into this dining room that would comfortably seat 4, but they have made some accommodations. You see these the normal 4 chairs, and then these still well crafted but egregiously thicker legs of 3 more chairs that are prepared and kind of like pushed over to the side to make room.
You got some new furniture. These are a little bit more stood, and Rowan's gonna start examining
Father
it.
whipped those up to accommodate our new guests. They've stayed with us for a while. I'm not sure they're going to stay much longer, but like I said, we do the best we can with accommodating all of you. And I've been busy working on some blankets for everybody just to keep them warm through the nights. But yes, you'll need them as soon as they get back from the woods. They've had to be extra careful since, well, your father and Thordrak got in a bit of a scrap with some of the frost gnolls, and our guests helped them out of that bind, and so we've been taking care of them since then.
I can't wait to meet them.
They are just lovely, and wait till you see them.
And Rowan's probably going to put 2 and 2 together that, more men than females. You two. Rowan's going to point to Aurelia and Bree. Come with me. I'll be right back, Mom. Guys, make yourself at home. And he's gonna
Absolutely.
usher his.
She says to each of you, absolutely just make yourself at home. And also, it's a crit official thank you for the raid. How y'all doing? Hope you guys had a good stream. We are being welcomed into Rowan's family home. He just made it to his home village, and the rest of the party just met his mother.
Rowan is going to usher Bree and Aurelia to follow him, and gonna lead them upstairs. We're probably gonna stay down here, us, Asher, Karun, and whoever else. So you guys probably should have your own space. And Rowan's going to take them to the first flight and gesture to a closed door. You guys can have my room. So go ahead and make yourselves comfortable, and Rowan's gonna open up the door and just gesture them in.
Thank you, Rowan. And I'll walk in.
Okay.
As you turn to walk out, Rowan, Marty is standing there like, do I have a room?
You're with us.
Oh, okay, right. No,
I mean-
no, like additional spare guest bedroom then.
Unfortunately not.
That's all right. No, floors are fine. It's fine.
Did you see those couches? Those were pretty cozy down there. We can make do with one of those.
Yeah, dibs on one of the couches then.
Easy enough.
And one of the biggest blankets. I know I'm not the biggest of gentlemen's, but I like to burrito up, and it is cold as fuck in here, so...
Yeah, it's... I'll probably get the fire... is the fire on downstairs?
Oh, yeah,
lit?
it's going. It's going just because it's not quite nighttime yet. It's just a low burn to keep the chill out of the house.
And Rowan's gonna leave the girls to his room, and he's gonna go downstairs and tend to the fire.
As you stoke up the fire, and that smell of the fresh cookies as the door to the stove is opened up becomes even more prominent, and there's so much coziness in the conflict of the chill in the surrounding exterior and the warmth of the fire, and then that warm inviting smell of the cookies and then the woodwork itself. There is peace.
Rowan's going to grab several cookies. He's gonna stuff two in his face and just take a moment and embrace the taste.
You see your mother is smiling at you, and then she just kind of like just kind of like closes her eyes and shakes her head gently. There is no hope for you or your father in developing any manners.
I have worked on them, I promise. But these I haven't had in a long time.
It's understandable. Your father, after a hard day's work, he can't wait to enjoy whatever I've prepped either.
Rowan's gonna take the plate and put them in front of Karan and Asher and Marty. You might want to grab some before my dad gets home.
Yeah, she'll grab and try a cookie, and
you see she moves over to the counter and she lifts up this little cheesecloth, and you see there is a mountain of cookies. Oh, I have learned to over-prepare, especially with our current guests.
Rowan, would you like for us to go find some extra game out while you spend time with your mother?
Rowan's
we
gonna
have that covered as well. They are, one of them at least is pretty adept hunter. They've gone on several hunts. Your father and them.
Can't wait
Listen,
to meet
you
these guys.
don't have to worry about anything. You just rest your road-weary legs.
He's gonna mid-bite. Has Evelyn come by yet?
She hasn't. We haven't actually seen her since you notified us that you were coming. She doesn't know. I know she's been busy with the council and all that, but I'm hoping that she makes us a stop soon. You're gonna have to catch her when she faints.
Bro's just gonna pop another cookie and just be happy at the thought of surprising her for once. But Mom, can we move the horses into the barn? Is that going to be a problem? We have about one for each of us, so we
No,
have
absolutely.
All right, we're gonna go do that, and help them if they need anything. If you don't mind, Mom. We'll be right back.
Rowan, I think myself and Kern can deal with that. You spend time
Oh
with your mother.
no.
No, it's all right. It's just horses. You should be able to handle them.
And yeah, Asher will like kind of lead Kron outside to go take care of the horses while leaving Rowan alone with his mother to give him time to just spend time.
You see
Thanks.
your mother can't shake the grin as she smiles at you and stares at you, and then she kind of like puts her hands around you, like on each shoulder and on the arms, and then like on your shoulders. I feel like you've grown.
Check these out. Everyone's gonna flex. Having to actually use and having them still on his back, and he's gonna tap the two swords.
And what's this? She like grazes your cheek, the scruff that's growing.
Oh. So when I left, I decided to just try to grow a beard. And this is as best as far as it's gotten in the 2 years.
It suits you. You're looking like your father.
I don't think I'll ever have what he's got, and he's just gonna scratch his face. Do you need help with anything, Mom? Do you like?
I've got it quite under control. I'm going to go check on the ladies, though. That was very kind of you. You haven't lost all of your manners while out there living the adventurous life, I see.
He's gonna look down at his shoes. God, yeah. I'm gonna go help them.
Softly scoops into a little comforting hug embrace. And then
Everyone's gonna return a little
floats.
bit of a warmer hug, and
From that, she floats away from that and heads upstairs to check on the ladies.
Rowan's gonna go help Karan and Asher with the horses, get them all squared away. Marty, you're more than welcome to come too, but seeing as that you're in a
You see him, he's like zoned out watching your mother leave to go check them out in the room. Huh? What? Oh yeah, the horses in the barn. The manly thing to do, right?
right. What were you just thinking right now?
Huh?
What were you just? I saw that.
It would be nice to have a room. That's all. But beggars can't be choosers, and I have spent the most of the past year as a beggar, so thank you. He just gives you a little fist bump on the shoulder. Let's go do that. Let us go do the horses things. Yes.
Yeah. Since you're so, manly, you can get
Of course.
the barn door. That's pretty heavy. Yeah.
Well, you've seen me do my 3 push-ups, so I think I can handle this
Working
one.
on 4. Yep.
Yes,
we're working on
we'll
4.
get there. We'll get there. All right.
Open up the back door and go find Asher and Karan.
He's got a bit of a strange strut in his step. Yes, manly things.
Ron's just gonna shake his head. Close the door behind
You
him.
see him avoiding the places where it's a little bit more muddy in the back behind the house, leading up towards the barn. Back to Ella visiting the ladies upstairs. You all must be so exhausted. I hope that this is comfortable enough for you.
This is more than wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm blown away by your hospitality.
I do what I can.
I elbow Briar.
It's super cozy, and in her anxiety, her whip is starting to like wrap itself around her arm, and she's not touching it. It's just like moving on its own.
Anxiety for what?
And
Sharing a room with her.
Pardon me, Ella. By chance, do you have like something warmer I could borrow? I'm not used to it being so cold. As you see, I'm like in like not the very thin clothes, and
Well, you do have the furs, but they're the gross road furs of the bandits that you guys had slain, but not the most ideal. Yes, of course,
like
absolutely. I can grab you something more comfortable and more effective.
Thank you. We've heard a lot about you.
Oh, I hope all good. If you would like, I could prepare a bath for you, and you could clean up from the road. Ladies first, and then we can let the men
that would be
wash
lovely.
their crimes off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You see Aurelia's kind of anxious too now.
Would you like any other clothes as well? I have plenty. I'm not much accustomed to the cold myself either.
Oh, I am totally fine. Maybe if you have an extra cloak lying about, but other than that, I have more than plenty.
She looks at your outfit. I will try to match each of your aesthetics as well, best I can, but my options might be a little limited. She saunters out that room, and you hear her go down the hall, and then you hear the flowing of water.
Aurelia looks at the room and at the one bed in the room. I can sleep on the floor, Bri, if you want.
That's really unnecessary. You don't have. It's like very cozy, and her whip is just squeezing harder. It's totally okay. You do not need to sleep on the floor. I can sleep on the floor, or we can just both share the bed, or the bed. The bed, not the bath. Whatever. Just the bed.
Sure. If you insist, I just don't want you to be uncomfortable.
Nope, I'm definitely not uncomfortable at all. Nope.
If you want to go first in the bath, and then I can come in after. I mean, I'll go after you're done, and then, yeah.
I'm like less uncomfortable so much as you're really pretty, and I'm getting super flustered.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that feeling.
I'm going to go get wet and get in the bath now. I will not take very long. It will be very quick. Wait, no.
Aurelia's sweating.
And Briar's whip has just made it up to her head and is just patting her. I'm going, okay, my yeah, okay. She just walks out the room, super red. Gonna go take that bath.
It is refreshing. All right. You're pretty okay. Bye. Okay. Back to the men's outside. Yeah. There's plenty of space for the horses, and you see that there's some space left over, which is to be used for the seasonal yaks that which are not there currently, but that your father would usually rent to take care of some of the stuff to prepare for winter. Those spaces are empty.
These ones are big enough to put 2 each. So we can put two, and 2. And Rowan's gonna usher Alder and Honor into their stall and help Asher and Karan, and I'm sure Marty is being a great supervisor as well.
He's the stupid advisor, yeah. I don't like dirt.
A real manly with
So, as they're doing it, Rowan's just gonna take in the improvements his dad has done to the barn since he's left.
Even the smell in here, the wood and the manure, it's refreshing. Refreshingly home.
You know, there's something about manure first thing in the morning as he pushes another horse. It's actually kind of nice. It's something you'll get used to. Yeah, you know, something you'll get used to if you know.
Marty,
I hope not.
You seem like you will last a very long time here.
I was built for this. Yep, right in my element.
My dad should probably be getting in soon, so we should just head inside. Man, I don't know if I should just go really quick to go surprise her.
I mean,
She'll be here soon.
we could go do that.
No.
It might be a good idea for you to go visit. Just the 2 of you.
Do you want to go on a trip?
I don't know if that's a good idea, though.
No one will see us.
Uh,
How far away is her?
On horseback, we're looking at maybe about a 30-minute horse ride into town to her house, but I'd have to go through town to get to the circle.
My idea is that we aren't going to be on horseback.
Where are we going? Well, how are we getting there?
We have legs, don't we?
Oh, we do.
Well, I have. If we just went to Rowan, and remember what I turned Asher into? And he's gonna look up into the trees and point at one of the birds. Take your pick.
But will I still be me in my?
You will be, but I will be there with. In fact, I might just be able to carry you.
Let's wait until my pop comes around, and I kind of want to meet these new guests first, and then we'll go from there. Usually she comes by at night to spend time with my mom and everybody, so
the only other option I could think of is, although it is late, or getting late, summon her. Just to visit, because she does, from time to time, and you can surprise her when she's here. That might make it easier for you to catch her when she faints.
I could drop a letter. just give me an address and I'll drop a letter off at her house.
Yeah, let's go inside and let's write something up.
I would have your mother do it.
What?
Well,
That
make it look
way
like
she-
she's something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. Oh. 2 years. Okay, Rowan's just gonna ruffle up his hair as we walk to the front door. He's gonna open the door and take off his boots this time at the front door.
You went in from the front door instead of the back door?
Yeah. We were coming from the barn, so I'd imagine we're going.
The barn
the
is in
front
the
door.
back. So the back.
It's in the
would
back?
be- yeah, you guys
Oh.
basically went through the kitchen door that leads, which is the back door that leads to the
Okay.
Like the storeroom.
Yeah. Okay.
like
So,
a way
we'll go through the
out.
back door. We'll go through the back door, like the way we left. Rowan's gonna take off his boots before he walks in. He's gonna hold them up.
Before we walk in, Asher's just gonna kind of stop, turn around, and just take in the sights and just take a deep breath and follow Rowan's lead and take off his boots as well. And
As you lean into the door, you hear the front door opening. And as you turn to look up, you see Evelyn kind of sneaking in and shutting the door as she... Ella, and then she sees you. And she shuts the door and just like falls back into the door a little bit.
Yeah, easy now. Easy. Everyone's gonna
Gonna nudge Rowan.
Rowan's gonna put his boots down and just run over towards
She-
her.
After leaning into the door a little bit, she starts to lean forward and almost dead sprint runs over to you and wraps herself around your neck as you kind of like do a little spin as you embrace, and she just buries her face into your neck and then like kisses your neck and then kisses your cheek, and then as you're still holding her up, just holds your face in her hands. When?
Just about an hour ago.
I haven't been here in so long.
And he's just gonna take her face and just give her a kiss. And just bring her into a big ol' hug. He's gonna rest his head on her head and just sigh of relief and point to the boys in the back.
She realizes she's still hanging on and holding on to you. She finally lets go, and whereas initially she was the white flushed, then the blood red that came up and flushed her with the excitement of seeing Rowan, and then she mellows out into a normal skin tone as she sees the rest of the party, or at least the boys coming in.
Rowan's gonna
Pardon
have
my manners,
his
it's
hand
nice to
out.
meet all of you. I am Evelyn.
Karan?
Asher, it's nice to finally meet you. You've all heard a lot of great things.
She smirks and glances over at Rowan and then back to the party. I cannot thank you enough for keeping him safe. It's
Quite
been
the opposite,
too long.
actually.
It's typically him who's saving us, and we're ever appreciative of that.
He's gonna wide smile at her. I've gotten a couple tricks. I've learned some things. but this and then for Marty probably coming towards the back, and then that is Marty.
Hello, I'm Martin Ethiel. Pleasure to meet you. Yes, I've done my fair share of saving Rowan, for sure, and the rest of the party at boot. And of course, he's returned the favor. He is quite a man.
And then there's 2 others upstairs. They're probably getting settled into my room. You'll meet Briar and Aurelia here shortly.
With that, you hear the sound of the footsteps coming down the stairs of your mother, Ella, who comes over and just gracefully, as both of them do, just embrace each other in just a soft hug. It is good to see you again, Evelyn. And it's good to see you too. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. I've been busy with... As you kind of just squeeze both of them. Been busy with the circle and my father's work. Oh, this is... I was not prepared for this.
I mean, I wasn't planning on being here for a little while longer, but things kind of pointed this way. But once Pop gets here and Thodrick and your guests, probably just Pop. I need to get you guys up. We need to get you guys up to speed on what's been happening. So
I'm sure that you've been through a lot. It has been 2.5 years. And then Ella, seeing that, like, the sadness of, like, 2.5 years, then she perks up and tries to set the mood with a little more lighthearted. Evelyn, come, have some of my cookies. Some of them are still fresh, still warm. And Evelyn, of course, yes. And she makes her way over into the kitchen. You see Evelyn is trying to poise herself, but like she's like smiling and just takes like a tiny little bite out of the cookie and can't take her eyes off of you.
Rowan's going to like wipe his face. That's probably just dirt.
She sees you doing that. It suits you.
He's just gonna mess with his face and just go up behind her and hug her and just spend time with her in the moment and just waiting for the girls upstairs. A small conversation.
Enough time has passed. Well, we'll go up there and let you guys decide how much time has passed while you've done your bath and your changing of wardrobe.
Aurelia has just finished braiding her wet hair back into a braid. And has been very cognizant to turn away if Briar is like undressing herself at all.
No peeking.
Briar's putting on her warmer clothes, and she's got her hair scrunched up. She's like pinching her cheeks, like making them rosy. So maybe we should go join them to go get a drink. Maybe.
I would love a drink. Let's.
I could use a drink.
Go.
Yeah.
You look nice, all clean. I mean, you looked nice before, but it's a good look.
Yeah. You've basically been clean the whole time I've met you, and you look, so good still. So,
Go downstairs. Let's. After you.
Okay. Enjoy the show. And she walks out.
As you try to walk out, Marty is there. Hey, what's it like in there? Is it nice? Is it good? So you cleaned up? Sorry, I was just trying to get you. We have Rowan's girlfriend. She's lovely. Come meet her. What's it like? What's it like in there? Is it comfortable? What's the bed like?
Would you like to come look?
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to intrude as he's walking in. Oh wow, yes, this is comfortable. Yeah. And he just places his hand on the bed and just ooh, that's
Yeah. Does he still have his loot on his back?
no, he doesn't have it with him. He's dropped his stuff off in the living room.
There is a big fur blanket on that bed.
It's very comfortable. What animal is this? I'm not familiar with the fur. Does it have like a head attached? He like looks up to see like this.
Martin, your loot is downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know. Okay. And she's gonna walk out.
Yeah, we should go. We should go down. We should go down and see the rest of the people. This is lovely setup that you have. I am eternally envious. Enjoy it. For me. Partake on my behalf. All right, let's go.
Right after you, Martison.
Of course, I will lead the way valiantly. As he heads down, following, he sees Briar already like kind of down at the bottom of the stairs and like giving him a look, and so he's just like quickly scurries down the steps.
Are you okay, Marty?
Yeah, no. I'm fine. He walks right past you and like peeps in at his loot and his stuff, like sitting on the near the fire mantle. No, I'm wonderful. I just wanted to go get the ladies, make sure they meet your lady, and now they can. And Evelyn kind of smiles at each of you. I'm Evelyn. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Briar. It's nice to meet you. We've heard lots about you.
So I've heard.
I'm Aurelia. It's you. This whole setup is lovely, and it's nice to meet you. Aurelia's still flustered. What are my words? I don't know.
What are words?
Rowan, with his hand on Evie's shoulder, he's just gonna look down at her and he's just gonna wiggle his eyebrows up and down and just do a smile.
She kind of gives you a single eyebrow raise and then just smiles and leans it to you.
This is basically my newfound family.
They all seem lovely. I can't wait to get to know each of them. Well,
do we want to... Mom, do you have any of Dad's good stuff laying around? Does he have any good stuff laying around?
Of course, let me check if he and Thordrak and our guests haven't gone through it. There's wine if you prefer, and there is whiskey if that is more your style. I'm a wine lady myself.
Oh, and Rowan's gonna go serve himself a whiskey glass, and he's going to take Asher, do you want anything? Whiskey, wine, ale?
Whatever.
Can I have like a bottle of wine?
I'm gonna look to my mom.
Sure. we might as well just bring them all out, and I'll set out glasses, and we can help ourselves.
It's gonna start taking bottles from the shelf. And
No
he's
better cause to celebrate than reunion. I'll have one wine, please.
I didn't order a wine. I ordered the wine. I want you to bring me
the wine.
the wine.
All of it.
Rum.
How much? Yes, Bridget.
Bringing the cups out, and he's gonna set them out, helping his mom with all the stuff.
Yep.
When do you think? I'm gonna look out the window. Does it look like it's getting to nighttime?
Comes over and stands beside you, your mom. She puts one arm around you and just kind of leans into you lovingly and lays her head on your shoulder and then looks out. It should be any minute now. And she just kisses your shoulder and then moves over to the oven, where at some point she managed to sneak a boar roast in there. Chris? It is a large boar. It couldn't possibly be Chris, and that was miles ago. But that thought crosses your mind as soon as she opens the oven and places it up there or whatever. It looks nice. Seems honey roasted ham from a boar. Marty,
so we met.
Marty gives you a look, Rowan.
Yeah, we actually made friends with a little baby boar, Ma. About yay big. Marty, you want to tell her what you named it?
Yes, his name was Christopher. Christopher P. Bacon. Chris P. Bacon. Yes, he was lovely. This looks lovely. I am starving, so this is going to be wonderful.
I'll let you do your thing. Rowan's gonna get out of the kitchen and
you see her like go to cut it, and then she realizes everything that you guys just said. It registers, and then she tilts her head a little bit, and then starts to cut it, but like realizing that that's probably awkward for you having made friends with one priorly. But
it's okay. You know, we only spent maybe a couple minutes with it. It's not a big deal.
I had to take it back to its mother because they wanted to keep it as a pet.
Okay, I'll be lying if I said.
So many stories to tell, I am sure.
You have no idea. There's a lot. Thinking on the snake story, but he's not gonna speak to it. And he's just going to look to Evelyn and just put his arms around her, probably sitting at the bar stool bench, and just pull her into a hug and just, well, my guys, I kind of figured I kind of elected us to take the living room, so we'll be sharing the living room with whoever. And don't mind my uncle. He's a bit.
You see some shadows move out and about in the backyard in the somewhat brightly lit evening night, as night has finally come. But then your attention is drawn to the front door, where the doors open gently, quietly, and then you see a man with a well-kept dark beard and dark hair, striking resemblance to Rowan, but a few speckles of gray in his beard. Rowan's father. He comes in and starts to starts to take off his boots and then like looks in, sees all the people in there, and then, hey kiddo, and he starts to he gets this big grin on his face, and then he starts to walk down the hall, and Ella, honey, and then I'll clean it up. As he's got his muddy boots walking into the hallway, he just gives you a big hug and pats you on the back. Look at you.
Look at you. Look as strong as ever.
I keep busy. You should see the other boys there. They're tying up the yaks right now and unloading, but whew, they've been a good help.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. Mom said you, Rowan's gonna point to his foot. Your ankle?
You see him lean onto his other foot and twist this one a little bit with kind of a show the mobility of it, right as rain. It's all good.
Good. Ah, it's so good to see you. The sword is still intact. And Rowan's pointing over his shoulder towards them.
You see he kind of roughly turns you around. You're far stronger, but he somehow still just has that like fatherness to him, where you just let him. As he turns you around, he unsheaths it from your back and stares down it. You're taking good care of it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Taking care of
it. He just slips it back in and turns you back around, and then scratches your face a little bit. What you got going on there?
Trying to see if I can compete with you, just to see what I can do. I know Mom said it is unlikely, but I thought I'd give it a try.
Looks good. I mean, it's not like patchy and all that. It's coming in nice. He gives you a pat on the face.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
What we got here? He kind of moves past you and looks at the rest of them. You guys each say your introductions. All right, it's nice to meet you. I'm Falzen. Rowan's pops.
Asher, Rowan's told us all a lot about you. Glad to finally meet his family.
I'm finally glad to meet his extended family. I'm gonna need to make some more chairs. I got some stumps I can bring in from out back. They'll work for now, but
would you like some help, Dad?
Not right now. I'll grab them, and then
Alright.
I am starving though. He heads over to the counter, grabs some of the cookies, and in the same way that you scoffed him down, he scoffs them down himself. Ella just kind of sighs and grins. She can't be mad. She's just overjoyed with having everybody back together.
Where is Thodrick nearby?
Yeah, Thodrick was finishing up on something. He didn't come with us out in the woods, so he'll stop by tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oh, all right.
I do have some people for you to meet, as you hear a bit of ruckus from outside, and the large figures that start to enter from the back door, being courteous enough to take their boots off outside. You see as they have to duck down a little bit to get through the door and make themselves a little bit smaller, two of which standing about 7 foot tall, one of them standing 8 foot tall. Three figures. They have this kind of pale gray skin with splotches of green, with very orcish features, but mixed with strong, almost human features. very large individuals. Hey, Seth. How would you like to describe your new character?
Yeah. All right. So,
Welcome back, Seth. Ah! And also, the Golden Troll, thank you for the raid. We just reintroduced our deceased player. Here he is. And he is coming back with his new character with a little introduction. So thanks for the raid. Hope you guys had a good stream.
welcome, guys. By the way, and you guys see in front of you, as Holson said, a 7-foot tall male figure beside his two brothers. You can definitely tell from the facial features of each one of them that they are assuming triplets. Although that the biggest one is a foot taller than the other two, the resemblance of the two 7-foot tall men is canny. They both look exactly the same, just with different hairstyles. As Olsen said, that their skin is gray with splotches of the dark green. You can tell that they have orcish features, but yet not at the same time, as if there's something else there. The man standing in front of you, he has a vest. He's got a button-up shirt. Sleeves are rolled up to about his elbow. He's got these adventurous pants on. It's got they got a little bit of armor on them, but not enough to count for anything. And he's kind of has his arms tucked in, as his other two brothers are most likely messing with each other. You can tell that he is the one that takes care of the other two. And yeah. Do you want me to describe the brothers as well, or
Yeah,
you
go
can
ahead.
go ahead and take it from there?
Go ahead and describe
Okay.
the
All right.
other two big boys.
Sure, why not? So the one, let's say the one that looks the most like the character in the middle, probably to his right, would be he's got the long hair. It's in a man bun per se, with white tattoos coming down his face. Out of the three of them, you can tell that he's the only one that actually wears armor. He's got leather armor protecting all of the bits of his skin, with a very fancy jacket. Kind of looks almost like an admiral jacket. He's got a bow and 2 daggers on his side, quiver on his back, with a very curious eye to each of you, as if he is learning who to take out first and be able to get away quickly. I would say the bigger guy, that's about a foot taller than the other two, is bald. Very orcish features. Again, he's even looks like he's more muscular than the other two. He you can tell he's the jokester of the two of them. He's got this great axe that you would almost think it's a whole person itself. Like
6
it
foot tall, great
legitimately
axe.
6 foot tall, huge, massive, and he is most likely messing with the one with the man bun. Loves to mess with his youngest brother. He's got a big fur coat on, and yeah, he's got very muscular, very tall featured man. And that is the 3 of them.
The bigger of them squeezes through the doorway first, and you see him kind of leaning back to speak to the other two as they make their entrance in.
I think I've made a new habit of killing frost gnolls. I quite like it.
The other one, the twin brother of the player character, one with the kind of admiral cloak.
Well, we've gotten pretty good at it lately. I counted 4 or 5 that you cleaved in half last time.
In one sweep.
Well, I'm gonna make it my goal to get 4 in one. What do we have here?
As he just he's a menacing force as he's looking at each of you, barely able to stand up in the house itself.
I am Elwyn. Nice to meet you.
Briar's
Rowan.
gonna.
His massive mitt of a bear claw that comes out to shake your hand, Rowan. Rowan's not a small guy either, but man, these guys are massive.
The name's cool. It's nice to meet all of you. Rose,
Asher's gonna go from like reaching for a component pouch to like hand out. Asher, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
gonna-
I'm one.
Yeah,
gonna-
I've heard a lot about you. Your mother talks a lot about you. Stories.
Hopefully, good things.
Of course. Of course.
Thank you for helping around here. Rowan's gonna gesture to everybody else. These are my friends, my family, extended family.
It's
Yeah,
nice to
everybody
meet you all. Yeah, well, we should probably get in more comfortable. I'm guessing, we met your parents kind of in a pickle. Well, not your mom, but your dad and your uncle. That's what this big one was talking about. Frost Nose. They were circling them. They were collecting wood, and we saw them in need of help. We helped.
The main thought would have been dead without them. That is for sure. It got close even with them, but now, I don't know, the activity of the Frost Nose has picked up a bit, so I make sure that I go out with my weapons every time. And they help.
He sees the big one, looks at the boar cooked. He cracks his knuckles, and it sounds like a branch breaking. Just he places his great axe and leans it up against the counter, and then he looks at Ella, your mother, and then she gives him like a look.
Right.
He takes it and opens the door and leans it outside, and then shuts the door. It, like, to grab even the doorknob is just like 2 fingers.
I swear, Ella, one day you'll learn manners. I apologize.
I wouldn't bank on it.
Bree's gonna grab a cookie and go up to the tallest one and just like look straight up at me. And in Orcish,
Just looking down.
in Orcish, she's gonna greet each of them. I didn't think I get to use language, so.
To everybody else, you hear the big one just, and then
As soon as they
everybody
start
else that
speaking
doesn't speak
Orcish, I'm going to
Orcish.
cast tongues on myself.
Because Orcish is a very simplified language, what it translates to you, Briar, is hello, little one.
And we'll say, what up, big one?
That's interesting. You speak our father's tongues. That's a new one coming from someone that's not Orcish to speak.
Well, the orcs and the Wood Elves have a little bit of a history. And what I do, kind of important to learn your language. Or I mean,
It's canon. That's how orcish sounds.
It's clear to note that everything that Cole is responding to her in is common. He is not speaking orcish
okay,
back
he is
to
speaking.
her. I mean, he knows it, but he's not speaking it back.
well,
Elwyn has
she'll
no
take
qualms
context
with
clues
that.
and
Yeah.
she'll speak it back to you. But she just wanted to be like, yo, I gotta use it.
Yeah.
We can assure you that our ancestors are not a direct reflection of who we are. We are different people entirely.
We look to, right their wrongs. That's kind of the goal.
Well, so far you've done well by me in my book.
And me and Rowan's going to approach Cole. Thank you all for being there for my father and my uncle. I'd be lost
It's,
without him.
It's no problem. Like, this is the first time hospitality has been passed our way. And, it's an honor, honestly.
Well, it's not everybody that would have intervened and stepped in a situation like that and helped us out. So, the way I look at it, we're in your debt.
As everyone's talking, and I can tell by my brother, not Elwyn, the other one would be kind of sliding behind, possibly trying to escape because he doesn't like to talk to people very much. Cole would grab him by the arm.
And this one's Xander. He's, a little shy with introducing himself. He's usually the one in the shadows or in the trees.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna have to work on my people skills if I want to one day work on a crew, huh?
Yeah, your dream to travel on the water that's not frozen.
One day. Well, I suppose this will be our last supper.
Yeah,
guys are heading-
wouldn't want to extend our welcome. We've been here for a while. Your father's
no
injuries
such thing,
as well
there's
as
no way.
ours.
You are not overstaying your welcome. Like I said, you've been quite helpful. I mean, the yaks are helpful, but each of you is worth 4 of them.
Well, as much as I greatly appreciate that, we gotta continue. We're again trying to change the names and the thought process of how orcs are interpreted, and though good or bad, we gotta go and continue to help people. Or at least,
as he looks kind of at Elwyn and Xander.
some of us do.
I feel like soon I need to return to the tribe and take over for our father.
As he starts to talk about the tribe, Cole will put his hands kind of on his chest right here.
Let's not interrupt. Obviously, this reunion. Let's eat, and we can talk privately after.
Please, join us. This wouldn't be the reunion that we have if it wasn't for you all. And
Believe me,
Everyone's
we will. I'm not gonna get in between him and that pig. No way.
I'll take that cue. And Ron's gonna let Elwyn through and have the big. How long have you guys been staying here?
So it's been about probably 6 days. No,
Oh, wow.
Close to a week.
I really can't thank you guys enough for helping my father, and I'm sure Thodrak has been a real joy.
Ellen just laughs.
Yeah, that squirrel he's got. He talks to it a lot, you know. It makes me worry about him a tad bit.
Yeah, I want to look to my dad. Critter's still around.
Critter's still around.
I thought he hated that thing.
Yeah. He likes to let on that he does, but they got a little odd couple thing going on.
It's pretty cute. Wait until you guys meet his squirrel. And everybody, please.
Yeah, by this point, plates are being dished out, and you see it pains Elwyn to have to control himself and not get like a massive, just like half the hog. He prepares himself a modest plate and just looks silly, him taking these little tiny baby bites. To him are baby bites. Your father goes out and grabs those stumps that he was talking about, and he has these like little trays that were folded up that he uses to kind of extend the table and make enough room. You guys have completely filled the whole entire kitchen dining area. As you have your
seeing the large one, like just taking baby bites, Asher is gonna cast Goodberry and pass him, like put one on his plate and be like, "Eat that last."
It just looks like a tiny little pellet to him, and just and places it on the table or on the plate as he continues to eat the rest of his hog.
That'll fill you up pretty fast. I know it's no war, but if you're ever just hungry,
He picks it back up and looks at it.
Magic, brother.
Just immediately swallows it. just grunts. Just grunts, nods.
So you guys were saying there's frost gnolls attacking. Did you manage to clear out their entire horde, or are they still?
Yeah. There was about 10 to 15 of them that circled Rowan's father and Thordrak. There was a leader, an alpha. He had some sort of mind manipulation ability. We were able to take all of them out. There seems to be others.
Sorry, 10 more tonight too.
There seems to be others from the pack that's bled in. But as they come, we wipe them out.
Maybe we could be of assistance to help stem the tide. Maybe they're after something out here. What do you think? And I'll look to Rowan, Briar, and Grun.
Well, they're definitely learning not to mess around with us. That's for sure.
They tend to think easy prey to go against looking for a meal.
Is that why you think?
Sometimes.
Dad, remind me, but I don't remember there being any of these gnolls 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Why not?
they tended to stay up further north, but I don't know.
You think there's something pushing them down?
And it's not the first
They're getting
time something like
hungry.
this has happened, but, animals change. Creatures change.
To a point, but generally, mass migrations like that only happen if something is disrupting their homeland.
Mm-hmm. We can look to see if there's something magical influencing it, maybe, but something could be pushing them out, but it might just be simple as there's not enough food. Too hard to get.
If you can get close enough to one of them to talk to them without them trying to bite your head off, that would be a great idea. Every attempt that I have had with talking to them has led with teeth at my throat.
Well, and if there comes a point where you need someone to be bait, this one time we were on an island and I've been bait before. I could be bait again.
Hopefully we won't have to resort to that. If anything, I imagine it would be us approaching and hopefully swaying. I can try to at least stay their position if I can't sway their dispositions. But
I would love to accompany you if comes to that. Persuading them would be great. Getting to know more of the ways that they hold themselves instead of just slaughtering them is something of interest for me.
I actually really appreciate your position on that. The desire to want to learn about the other rather than just erasing the problem. It's respectful, admirable.
As to you,
Absolutely. We'd love to have you along.
I mean, if you guys would like, take a rest for today, maybe tomorrow, and head up north and see if we can track them down.
How frequent has it been? Daily, nightly, or
It's about
just increasing?
Well, we didn't want to risk it, so we've been having them come out with us. We take our weapons out there when we're up there working. It's only been that first time where we met them, and this last time, tonight. Less formidable tonight, but I don't know what it's like for the others out there working. I haven't talked with the village much.
Well then, we could go immediately, but it doesn't sound like they're a dire threat. Perhaps we may want to take some time, aside from just relaxing from our journey, but gather some more information. If we're going to try a peaceable approach, we should be as well informed as we can. Maybe other townsmen know something.
Scout
and
around.
when we get close to them, just let me know. I can't share it with other people, but for like an hour, I can comprehend other languages.
As can I, as long as they're
Yeah.
speaking it.
Right.
yeah, that's something I don't know about Norse. Again, with not being able to talk to them and having them attack as soon as they see you, I don't know if they can even speak.
Not to be presumptuous or rude, because this could probably be seen as rude. Do you know how to read?
Well, yes, and no.
Okay. What language is best for you? Because what I'm thinking is, Charon, if you do the speaking because you're more eloquent than me, I can do the writing down of what they say, and then you can have like a document.
Actually, we could, yes, of course, but we don't even have to go that far. I have the ability to understand spoken word, but that spell is not restricted to myself. If you'd like, I can grant you the ability for a time to be able to understand and speak as if you were fluent.
I would greatly appreciate that. We are still new to the abilities of this outside world. Our shaman had great abilities, but I learn something new every day,
As are we.
which makes me smarter.
Well, I certainly hope that we become that.
So, if I write it down for your people, what language would be best for you?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm well with common. It's something that I studied a lot in the tribe.
Okay.
My father, I think, on the opposite side of how you introduced yourself of having to know the orcs, he had to know the humans. So he taught me that. My brothers much didn't care for learning more hunting and,
My axe works
Helping.
just fine for communicating.
as I was saying, helping for the tribe. They've never been much for the philosophical and learning that not all communication with another person doesn't have to end up in a fight.
Okay. I can add it to the bestiary then.
That would be great, thank you.
Hate to spoil the mood of the dinner, but what is this trouble y'all got yourself into?
Where to start?
Yeah, that's
You see
Precise.
Evelyn kind of shift in her seat as well, like curious, but also like she's heard some of this stuff, having been kind of a part of the circle herself.
Asher's gonna look at the 3 new ones and be like, how well into the kingdom have you 3 got yourself into?
This is the closest that we've been to any town.
Would you say that
We've never seen your stone walls that are the size of mountains, yet not mountains.
Would you say that the reach of the human kingdom extends out to where you reside, or is it just something you're aware of but exists detached from?
Before us, there has never been interaction with part of my tribe and the humans. Of course, the orcs, yes, but the other side, no. I don't know of any human kingdoms or of their rulers or their tribe leaders.
Most
might be
humans, when they first see us, well,
He kind of looks down at his plate, and then this is Xander.
Asher's
And
gonna
then
kind of
looks
look
back
down
at
Pete.
each of you, and then
they respond in the way that most of you did.
and then
Asher's
looks
just gonna look down
back
and
at his plate.
kind of look ashamed, be like, "Yeah, sorry, my home was invaded by the Orcish tribe down south, and still
When
currently
you
occupied."
When you've been attacked by a wild dog that has had rabies and has been sick, you look at dogs a different day, a different way. I don't blame you for the way you looked at us the first sight. Your thought of us after that, after you've met us, that's what matters. As he kind of puts his hands and kind of pats you on the shoulder.
Still take my apologies of first
It's
judgment.
been accepted. It's been accepted.
And Asher's gonna look over at Aurelia and and look back at the party and just kind of shake his head of, I think we can trust them with this. She's the prime example of trust without hesitation.
I imagine my passive insight says nothing to the otherwise.
Yep. There is with Elwyn, the larger one, there is a somber anger underneath that for him, but I mean,
they're not being disingenuous, though.
Yes, you can chalk it up to him, being frustrated with how they've
The persecution.
been. Yes, yeah.
Rowan's going to take Evelyn's hand in his, and he's going to look at her in the eye and nod and shift himself into the chair to where he's looking. His chest is square to his father. So about, I don't know, what would you say, several months ago, I met most of these on the ship. These, my friends, my family on the ship. We were being sent to an island. We were there for some time, and on our way back, we witnessed. I don't even know how you would describe it, but a monster engulfed a ship right before us. We made our way to land, helped towns here and there. I mean, from my letters, we developed a name for ourselves, and we then became the Fated Five. One of our brothers his name is Dominicus. We went our way to Kinghaven after saving who you would know, Pop Hardgar. He is now the hand of the king and the princess. They were imprisoned. Hardgar, yeah, and they were imprisoned.
He looks at Ella and then back at you.
Can Asher make an insight check on that one?
Yeah, I want to make an insight check.
No need to. It's what it seems to be. Nervous.
We saved the princess along with Jethro and Marty. On our way to Kinghaven, we took the princess and safely to the kingdom, and we were welcomed to a dinner. And we were also looking for a wizard, a man of power, named Kozrak. Dom was seeking him and seeking some enlightenment to his past. Come to find out, Dom was a prince, the true prince of Eswind and Zeha. Man, did he not hesitate to take that crown and step up and be that light. We were there for a couple days, and finally we were welcomed into the castle. Nothing of it. We were summoned to breakfast. Dom left.
With that, Asher's gonna put his hand on Rowan's shoulder and kind of squeeze a little bit. Dom was framed. They set us up for breakfast, and We don't know exactly what happened, but we suspect the Queen tried to frame us for the king's death.
Evelyn squeezes your hand, Rowan.
Sit back. And I glimpse over my shoulder at her and back to my dad.
We would not have made it out if it wasn't for Aurelia. She
Asher and I didn't fight. We had nothing to hide. We were arrested on the spot. Didn't say anything. And we were locked away for a couple of days to be sent to what was called the Red Chambers by the Queen. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Aurelia. And Briar and Karun's help.
That's a lot.
But, Dad, I swear to you, we would never. We've only ever wanted to do good. Help everybody.
I know. Sometimes those who do the most good get the biggest target on their back.
Olsen.
Mhm.
Could I do an insight check on Rowan?
with what his father said, Asher's gonna be like, the darkest people who live in the darkest areas tend to try to snuff out those that try to bring light and do good.
Did you roll?
Rolled that one.
Seems genuine.
Fortunately, up here we kind of got our own thing going.
He looks over at Evelyn and she kind of squeezes your hand and gets kind of uncomfortable, having the mic, so to say, passed off to her. We've only just caught word of it up here. I've heard my father talking, and I know that they are not necessarily interested in what the Queen seems to be up to. The whole circle is pretty unanimous with that. Jazir at the forefront of all that. He says it's best to stay out of the Queen's business and the business of the Central Kingdom. Motorcycles. Stay out of the Queen's business and the business of the Central Kingslands until all of that murmur has settled. Until then, we focus on Herndine and the north.
What exactly is going on in Herndine in the north?
They are just trying to make it better. I think it has. In the past 2 years, we're much the same, but a lot has changed very quickly since Jazia returned from Trevane and took over for his father.
He studied in Trevane. Rowan, do you remember what the Queen said?
Yeah. Do you think us being here is a bad idea?
It depends on how vehemently they are against the Queen. I don't think they are interested in whatever the Queen has to offer. So I could run it past my father if you'd like. As maybe a hypothetical, or...
I'm gonna look to the party with that.
I could meet him out in the woods. Just you and me alone. Possibly, if he was in Trevane, he could have experienced some of the Red Chamber, knows something of it. If he's adamantly against the Queen,
There's an
He
understanding
has made
that
mention multiple times that while he is thankful for his training in Trevane and the man it has made him become, he does not agree with everything that was entrusted into those who went through the program. He seemed to think that Trevane itself was its own little tyranny that he was not interested in taking part of.
that
it's
would
actually
track with what the Red Chambers have been told to us.
Mhm.
So it implants memories, and
when he came back, Jazir, did he seem any different? I mean, like, you and I both know him well.
He seemed to have matured a lot. He didn't seem like a boy anymore. But there was that element. She kind of looks at you like uncomfortably, where I could tell some things remained, but he has done well for Handine, and he's leading well.
I'd be willing to talk to him. I think, of course, with everybody, maybe a hypothetical to your father first. Get guidance from your father.
if you would like to set up a meeting, maybe since you know him the best, introduce us. Some of us have an escape plan.
I could make that happen.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
The only other way that we could go about it would be to try to find someone who's not affiliated with us that could try to see and bait out that they're against us. But that seems a bit convoluted and unnecessary. This might be the best course of action.
Should we do that before we take care of whatever's driving these gnolls down south?
Yeah.
At least if we did that first, it might give us a good introduction, a good first impression.
Wouldn't be too worried about the gnolls right now. I know a lot of the other crews have kind of gotten privy to it. I've seen them out with their weapons. They got their bows, their swords. Some of them have hired some armed guards or brought them in with them. So, they got him taken care of for now. They just gotta fend him off.
Right. So we deal with the gnolls, and then we talk to Jazir. It gives Evelyn some time to do some insight of her own work. But Dad, the name Hardgar. Why did you?
I served under him. And he was our captain, Thodrick, and I. And there was a time he left us for dead. It's a lot more than I can get into, but yeah. Basically, betrayed us.
That explains his demeanor when he knew who you were.
Yeah.
And
How much did you talk to him?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, he looked at me for a good minute, and I asked him why, and he said I looked like somebody he knew, and I just said, "I'm your son."
Probably felt like he was seeing a ghost.
He let us go.
It was the only reason we made it out there without a fight.
Yeah.
Would he have an ulterior motive, though?
He left you for dead?
Left us for execution. More like it.
It's gonna kind
We had, he looks over at Ella and then down at his plate. We got tipped off. Got a warning. And we, got out.
Maybe he was trying to right the wrongs by letting us walk out.
That's what I'd like to think.
Some people do
Yeah.
change.
That's been 20-some years, so I mean, a lot can happen then. So he's the hand of the king.
The queen, for now.
Yeah, to be more literal.
I'm trying to recall how he said he got the position. Does anybody remember?
He brought the chalice back.
That's right.
Gifts
Chalice.
to the king. Some
Was it a
Yeah.
chance at that point?
from
Yeah,
the
it's-
Sunnobs. That was a gift.
He doesn't look at Ella, but he slightly turns his head towards her and then back down at his plate.
Are you familiar with this metal?
Should I? And Rowan's going to.
It's not like there's someone who isn't already aware that we possess it.
That's true, and they already do know the family.
Rowan's gonna turn his slightly, and he's gonna reach behind Evelyn to his backpack. Think of the chalice and
You retrieve it. It clinks with a
table.
resounding as you place it down on the table, the quiet, everybody else knowing what it's for. Ella is kind of affixed with her gaze on it. Falls and turns his head, tilts it towards the chalice, and then back down at its plate again.
We have a lot of people that are after this for some. What do you know about creation of this and the acquisition of the materials?
Why does it look like you just seen a ghost?
Ella starts to speak and then falls in. You can kind of tell from under the table while like they're holding hands, you can almost see his arm flex, and he shakes his head.
Let's put that away. Let's change to something lighter topic.
Yeah.
How's the boar?
Sounds-
And with that, we will take a break finally. it's okay. Wait, do we want to just continue and finish the 30 minutes, or do we want to go longer? Because this has gone longer. Can we? Could we? We're gonna do shorter.
I'm down to go longer.
Me too. I'm down.
Go
down
the same
longer
length as
too.
last week's episode was.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna just have a little bit of a longer one today. Woo! Let's go. All right, we're gonna take a break. Hey, if it's cool with everybody, everybody's thumbs up. Thumbs up. Seth, you good? You don't. It's okay if you can't. It's okay if you can't. Okay, if you can't, then we'll just not break and we will just go. It's okay. I know you got responsibilities, man. You got a baby, my dude. Are you trying to find out? Do you want to?
Trying to find out.
Okay, we'll take a break. Okay.
Just in case.
We'll just take a break. It may be like a 25-minute after for the break. But that's okay. We can break it up in the YouTube. It'll be fine. Short rest. See you back in like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.